Good morning, all. This is your instructor for 324, Ryan Sane. Some of you don't know my face, some of you do. But here I am in my humble office, and Charlie's bugging me over the shoulder, saying, "What are you doing talking about this stuff?" Anyway, no, just wanted to give you a quick video about that kind of fills in some of the gaps that you guys may be missing. There's normally a welcome video with this course, but I'm having some trouble porting it over. It exists on the web, but it's not in a place that is letting me access it very easily, so I apologize for that. So I just wanted to get you a quick one up there. I'm going to post this somewhere where everybody can see it, hopefully, and then we will, it'll clarify kind of how this course works. So the first thing, I'll get a ton of emails about two things. Number one, the testing procedure, and then number two, the reflections. So I'm going to go over those. I've already posted an announcement about the reflections, but I'll talk a little bit about it here for a couple of minutes. So this will be a short video, I promise, not like an hour-long lecture like you've been seeing. So, blah, 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 where to begin? All right, first off, let's just go with the reflections, because the testing stuff is a little bit more detailed. The reflections, really simple. I just want your reactions to the content. I just want you to talk a little bit. What do you think? What does it make you feel? Does it piss you off? Does it make you happy? Does it fit with your worldview? Does it not fit with your worldview? Just a little bit of a description about what's going on. I just want to see that you're reading and kind of reflecting on this content. It's something that I normally do in a face-to-face class with discussion, but we don't really get that heavy discussion thing here. We get that threaded discussion, which is kind of weak. I'm not a big fan of threaded discussions, but I have to have something in an online sense to see that people are talking about this stuff and give you a chance to build a community around the content. So anyway, the reflections are pretty straightforward. Again, if you look in your the syllabus, it describes a little bit about what the reflections are, and then it also says see the topics. And again, the topics are related to the content. So if you look on your syllabus, then you'll see reflection 1 do. Well, it's about the content that's before that. So we're going to look over here. I'm going to show you a couple ways to go through this stuff. So first off, so you can see down here my cursor is on the syllabus. So we're going to go to syllabus. And then you can actually see the entire syllabus built down here, discussions, reflections, blah, 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 or the link to the syllabus. So I think this is a download button, view in a new window, preview the document. No, I'm recording a video for a class. So, oh, that's okay, don't worry. So, see, this is my office. Everybody just kind of comes in, it's my office hours, so on and so forth. Everybody, Amy, everybody. So, so 324 syllabus, you can see I'm scrolling through it here. So the reflection paper was due. Of course, we've already talked about that. So you know it's going to be about history and background. So reflection paper for this one, Pavlovian condition. It's going to be about Pavlovian conditioning, and about the chapters that are associated with it. That's why it's in that category. And then again, motivational factors, so on and so forth. So that's the topic that you're writing about. Then you see the canvas, or then you see the rest of the syllabus down here. So mastery, discussion forums and mastery, discussion forum rubric, and then reflection paper rubric. Right there, it tells you what to do. So I'm going to pause the video for just a moment, and then I'll be right back to talk about the testing style. And that should be enough on the reflection paper. So at this point, we want to get into it and start talking a little bit about the tests. I'm not going to change the mastery-based requirement. There's a reason that I've chosen mastery-based, and there's a reason that I've converted all my courses to it. It is a highly, highly effective method at learning material. The key is focusing on the fact that it's a learning tool rather than an assessment tool. I do not use tests in this course to assess what you know. I use them to help you learn the content. Once you get up to 90% on that test, I know you've learned the content. How do I know that? Because you had to look up every answer. You had to read it 5 times. You had to read it 37 times, whatever it may be. But you had to read it a bunch, and you had to go through that content in order to figure it out. Some people often send emails about memorizing the book. I'm not after that. I'm after you learning the material. And sometimes that's going to mean taking the test with the book sitting open right next to you, and you're looking through it, and you're going, all right, here's the paper. Here's the answer. I see it. Cool. From where I sit, that means I got you to read the book, so that's a good thing. The other side of this coin is that there's a history of using PSI-type courses, which is what this is. And you can go to the literature and you can review PSI courses, and their superiority. It's been going on since the 60s. We've been doing testing, or we've been doing courses this way for a long time. It uses the principles, a PSI course, which is roughly what this is, which stands for Personalized System of Instruction. So a PSI-type course utilizes all the research from the literature that you're studying. So from the human learning literature, it uses that literature and then converts that into a course. And by doing that, you know that the material that we're doing, the methodology that I'm using to teach this course, is actually empirically based, which is unlike all other courses that you typically take. I have been converting all of my classes to this, and everyone says the same thing early on, which is, oh my gosh, it's too much work, right? It's overwhelming. There's too much detail. I agree. It is a lot of work, and it's a ton of work on my end to convert a course into this, and then keep everybody up to speed. But there's a couple things you need to know. First off, it's not an assessment. It's a learning tool. Second off, it's open book, open note. Third, you can work with others. And by that, I don't mean sitting there taking the test with each other and filling in each other's answers, but saying that, hey, question number 3, I don't understand it, I don't get it. Do you have a page number for me? Somebody else can help you get that page number. So now you know where to look or what paragraph to look in. I can drop hints like the one I did the other day about the, about Darwin and how it's not the physical characteristics that he's after. You have to read that paragraph very carefully in order to understand the answer to that question. So we can do hints like that. On the system, I have 5 attempts set. That's a baseline. If you're still improving, if you're still working hard and trying to get through that test, I'll open it up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 753,222 attempts. You'll never get that far. But the point is that stay in touch with me. I'll stay in touch with you. I've been doing pretty good at giving feedback to everybody as it's popping into my email. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm catching up. And it's just bouncing back and, I'm bouncing emails back and forth trying to help people out, which is the end result of, that's what kind of prompted this video. But it's, again, students say it's hard up front, but at the end of the course, about halfway through the course, people start to go, I get it, right? And they start to see why I'm doing it this way. And once you start to get comfortable with this testing method, and teaching method, invariably, in all my courses now, face-to-face or distance, I'm getting the same comments. I wish all courses were taught this way. It's hard at first, but it'll start to slide in for you. It doesn't mean it gets easier, but you'll start to understand what's going on, and you'll start to remember content that you've never remembered before from a class. Why? Because I'm beating you up on it. You're going over and over and over and over and over again as you take that test multiple times, and you have to re-enter that answer multiple times. Every time you do that, every time you re-enter the answer, guess what? You're learning it more, and it's getting ingrained into you, which is what we want. That's what we're after as instructors. Some other things about the test that people are concerned about. People are concerned about things like plural or not plural. This is maybe sounding a little strict, but it's important to speak proper English as much as you can, or at least write proper English. If the word doesn't fit in the sentence, then it's probably the wrong word. If it needs to be a singular form, make it singular form. I'm not going to accept an incorrect answer just because it's easier to do that. And by the way, I have to enter each and every answer that the system will accept as proper. And what I tend to do is, as people email me, say, hey, I found this on page 37, this is what I think the answer should be. If I agree with you, I'll tell you that I agree with you, I'll give you credit for it, and then I'll also modify the test to allow that answer for everyone else. So these tests are, I don't know what the term is, under constant edit. They're always being updated. So you might see that the test be republished 3 or 4 times while you're taking it. That's because people are giving me feedback saying, this answer works too. I'm like, okay, fair enough, because I can't think of all the possible perfectly correct answers. But that's why you do need to be specific. There's a reason we have syntax and grammar in our language, and I do my best to make sure that my questions are written in proper grammar and with proper syntax, and I expect that the answers, follow that accordingly, which is something that we all need to work on, myself included. So, including my writing, always have to try to improve it. This is one way to help you improve that writing, make you specific in what you're trying to say, and not loose in general. So. Let's see what else. Oh, discussion forums. Discussion forums, there's some questions about how they work. So again, let's look at the discussions here, if Canvas is going to wake up. And these are in a weird order. Discussion 1, I don't even know where discussion 1 is. Oh, discussion 2. Again, you have to go back to the syllabus to see what's going on. But discussion 1, as you can see here, there's been 11 comments. You can see that that discussion 1 and discussion 2 both cover those early chapters, right? It's not in chapter 1, chapter 2, right? It doesn't match up quite like that. So after you pass that first test, then you can see on the syllabus, let me go back to the syllabus here, what to do with the discussion. Bear with me, it takes a second for this thing to catch up. Click syllabus here, preview the document. So syllabus, exam 1. So for the second week, which is technically this week, you need to be covering topic 1 and 2. So topic 1 and 2, is it? Oh, I might see an error here. Let me just jump to discussion 1. It should have ported over, but it doesn't look like it did. Ooh, shoot, it did not port over. So I'll fix that for the remaining discussions. The stuff I've read in here looks really good. You guys are right on track, and I really like what you're putting. So keep doing that. You're doing great. On some chapters there's 2 discussion topics. I failed to edit the discussion topics. I apologize. I will fix that for all the other ones. So let's see, people, pages. Sometimes I'll post some content in pages. Oh, modules, just so you can see how it all works, just in case you don't know. There's your course modules. Background and intro, natural selection, Skinner interviews, the case against freedom, reflection 1 is due, exam 1 is due, and then now your discussions. These discussions are about that material. These discussions are about that material. These discussions are about that material, and so on and so forth. Right? Because you have to master the material before you add the discussions. Notice I've only got exam 1, 2, and 3 up in here. There's a couple of things I need to do to edit 4, 5, and the remainders, but it only takes a few minutes to edit those. I just want to get us all going before you guys start to really work ahead and zip through the course. And that's the other thing that's nice about mastery-based courses is it's all at your own pace. You can work ahead if you want. You can get behind too, but it's going to burn you. They'll burn your bum if you get too far behind, because by the time you get to the end of the quarter, you're going to have all these topics to do. So, and we kind of leave additional topics open because sometimes we get to this, sometimes we don't. And I reserve the right to remove content for you because there's a lot of work in this course, and sometimes I might go ahead and drop that last reflection or reduce some of the discussion requirements. It all depends on how the course is going and how you guys are doing. So stay in touch with me, keep sending me your emails, and don't forget about those times that I have set aside. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2, and I can stay later if need be, but Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2, I will be live, online, right there. And we can set up conferences, we can do that type of stuff. And I'm also sitting here in the office. I can go over and sit in a conference room if you guys want to meet face-to-face as well during those times, if you happen to be on campus. Some of you can't be on campus, you're on the other side of the planet, but and I understand that, but that's what I'm going for. So 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, Tuesdays and Thursdays, is a dedicated Pacific Standard Time in the U.S., is a dedicated time just for this course, office hours for this course. I also hold daily office hours, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, U.S., for just my general office hours. But I have some specific ones set aside for you guys. That way I can just focus on what you're doing. So. All right, I think that's about it. It's a little choppy of a video, but I will get it posted for you in just a moment. If you can see this, it's being posted. It's been posted. Talk to you soon. Take care.